Okay, so how many of you, hands up, remembers proper old style newspaper print? Probably none of you, all new millennials nowadays. But if you cast your mind back, old style newspapers featured a particular framework for their headline stories. And this is what I always talk about when I give people instructions on how to do interview questions. So, this is going to be the first video in a series of about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. Well, according to my notes here, I've got 6 different things that I want to talk about. And this is the first one, which is how to give correct answers. Now, this video, if you've clicked on it, is predominantly aimed at people who have English as a second language. If you are a native English speaker, then, I don't know, this video might still be useful to you. But just bear in mind, before you write any shit in the comments, this is aimed at non-native English speakers. So over the last few years, I've done a lot of getting people through job interviews. And there is something that every non-native speaker does. When they're asked a question, they just come out with this massive, rambling, long answer. And usually, by the end of it, they still haven't answered the question. So like when I'm preparing people for a job interview, one of the first basic questions I ask, just to gauge of, what this person is like, is tell me about your current position, which is a very regular sort of question to be asked in a job interview. Usually as an opener, people will just want to get a feel for you. I mean, the guy's probably got your CV in front of you, but they use it as just a gauge, as an opener to see what it's like. And when I do this with non-native speakers, in particular French, Spanish, Italians, Russians, I ask them, tell me about your current position. If I don't stop them, like literally days, weeks, months fall off the calendar. I'm like, sorry, did you finish? And they still haven't answered the question. So let me give you my framework that I use for all of my clients. And this framework, you want to use it for pretty much every single question to various degrees. So let's get into this. And this is what I was talking about, newspaper headlines. So we're going to start with that very basic question. Tell me about your current position. Now, the headline should be, who are you? Who are you working for? Okay? So if I was to do it for me, for example, the headline would be, I am an online ESL tutor working across various platforms. So in that one sentence, I've told you what I do and who I do it for. So for you, it might be different. You might say, I'm a data analyst for an insurance company, name of insurance company. Or you might want to flip it the other way around, and you might want to say, the name of the company plus your job title. That is the headline. That is the opener. Start there. Now, under the headline on a newspaper, there's usually a subheadline that gives you the basic facts. So if I was doing this for me, I would say, I've just forgotten what I was going to say. No, let's try that one again. If I was doing this for me, oh, Jesus, I need an English teacher. If I was doing this for me, I would say, I specialize in teaching business professionals who have a certain level above B1 who are looking to get to the next level. That's what I do. That is my specialty. I don't teach children. And in that one sentence, I've told you a whole load about myself. Here is my specialty. It's business professionals. It's not children, it's professionals. For you, if we follow the data analysis story, you might say, I specialize in risk analysis for commercial properties. Now, after that, we want the actual story, the actual text. And for this, I always tell people, try to think of your daily life. 2-3 things that you do every day that pretty much define your working life. Or something significant in your working life that would be of interest to the person you're talking to. This is especially true if you're maybe making a career change. like you were a data analyst and now you want to be in software development. So you might want to make mention of something that would cross over so that it doesn't seem like a huge leap. Okay, so like if I was talking about me, I would say, okay, so we've done the whole who I am. I have a very alternative way of teaching things. I am the exact opposite of every Cambridge English teacher you've ever met. I use a lot of videos that I write my own question sheets to and give out as homework. This helps people's understanding and background knowledge and also their hearing abilities. And lastly, I don't teach grammar. I teach people tricks, cheats and shortcuts, because I believe in the real world you get paid to do things quickly, simply and cheaply, which is the exact opposite of the world of academia. And personally speaking, I try to live in the real world, not in the world of academia. So that is me in a nutshell, okay? So if I was to start that from the very beginning, I am an online ESL teacher, specializing in business professionals who have at least a B1 level. I have a very unique way of teaching. I do the exact opposite to Cambridge English. I make my own video homework with questions to help improve people's listening, understanding, and background knowledge to English. And I tend to teach tricks, cheats, and shortcuts, not grammar, because I believe in living in the real world where you get paid to do things quickly, simply, and cheaply. Now, I know that that way I've just done it is not exactly the same as the first one. But that's not the point. The point is the framework is still the same. It is headline, subheadline, supporting argument. And I always tell my clients, always, for every answer you give, regardless of what the question is, try to keep that framework in mind. And this is what I do with my clients. I don't give people a script. I don't do mock interviews. I just give examples and I make people rehearse the idea, the framework. Keep this framework in mind, always. And sometimes I've had clients in the past, they've had maybe 4 or 5 interviews for a job, and maybe they fall at the final hurdle. And they always say, oh, I think it was my English. Like, no, dude. If you're at interview 4 or 5, this is no longer about your English. That would have been at the very beginning. It is now down to your personality. You know, if you're down to the last 2 or 3 people, this is down to personality. It's nothing to do with language abilities anymore. The language ability test comes right at the very beginning. That's part 1, part 2 at the worst. So the funny thing about teaching this at the very beginning, and this is why I say to people, start with the big idea and go down, down, down. Have a framework. Because having spoken to a lot of HR people over the years as clients, and a lot of managers who have to do interviews, one of the big pet hates is asking a question and getting some long rambling answer with no conclusion to it, and they still don't know what the actual answer to the question was. So please, if you've got a job interview coming up, practice this idea, write it out, practice it in front of the mirror, and let me know how you get on. You know, and if you need any other advice, you know, I'm always here online. I don't have a key to the door. They don't let me out of this place. So that's why I have such pasty skin. So as I say, there's going to be more videos coming. I mean, on my notepad here, I've got 6 different videos that I want to make to do specifically with job interviews. And so stay tuned for more. Subscribe, like, comment. I'm a very needy person. I need the attention and I want to get monetized so that I can become a millionaire and give all this up. So subscribe, hurry up.